Hi, this is Megan Jax, and I am here with sketch number 2 from the Creative Memories June 2021 Worldwide Virtual Crop. So this sketch, once again, we're back with a 2-page sketch, and I have to admit, I was actually super excited to see this sketch. This concept here with the way that they have the strips of paper that start off wide in the middle and kind of taper off toward the end. It's actually kind of a sketch idea I've been working with, but I haven't quite figured out how to put photos on it without covering things up. And so I can appreciate what they did here. It kind of looks like they just tossed photos on there, which is one of those things that I sometimes struggle with, especially when I'm trying to just sketch out ideas, that I get a little bit too hung up on placement. And I think that this is one of those things where when you start to put it together, it all just kind of comes together. So I want you to think about this from a standpoint of building a background and then putting photos on top of it. So you may be able to stay with how the photos are done here. You may want to mix it up once you put your background together. So in the sketch itself, in the all access group, I do give you the measurements. You can see here how they are. They start here at 11 inches tall, 1 inch for each side. So the directions are going to give you 1/2 of the layout, and you would just mirror it for the other side or use those same measurements. You don't have to mirror it. You can use other, other patterns or colors there, so you can really mix it up. I am mirroring it. So what I do on the right page, I will be doing on the left. So I have some photos. Here's just half of the photos. I've actually already got the right page done. So I'm going to be putting together the left page for you. And then I'll bring in that right page to show you what it looks like all together. So I've got some photos. I'm going to be working with the new summertime collection. These are pictures from a long time ago of my daughter at preschool for Water Day. So it was a lot of fun. It really pulled out those nice bright colors that are on the tonal side of summertime. So I'm going to be working with, like I said, I'm working with those tones. So I've got that dark kind of navy and aqua, the yellow, the greens, this really nice pink. It picks up the pink in her swimsuit. And then coming back in with the tonals, the blues and the greens there. So I'm working with the tonal side of summertime. And what I decided to do was I decided to pair it for my background. I went ahead and I liked this speckled, the black speckles or the black and white speckled, but it's the other side of pink. And since I am making a 2-page layout and I am using the, I need the pink out of this. So what I actually ended up doing is I cut out, this is 5 inches wide by 10. So I cut a 5 by 10 rectangle out of the middle. I've reinforced it with just a like 6 by 11 piece of cardstock. And that allowed me, you can see here, this is actually the piece that I cut out. This allowed me to create the pink stripes that I needed for my layout. I want to say pink is like my 2 by 9. So I needed 4 inches by 9 inches, which I was able to easily get from one side of the paper. I actually cut out both sides, and I still have this very spare piece of pink tonal paper. So that was just how I was able to get it done. So that kind of creative thinking might be necessary depending on the papers you're using. So I've got my background here. Like I said, I've reinforced it with some white cardstock. I have also already pre-cut all of my pieces. So just that I went with those measurements that are in the sketch that I give to you in the group. So all those sketches, the measurements here, I'm using the same ones over on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and just start putting it together. So I'm going to start off with my longest strip, which is this tonal aqua color. And I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it. This is 11 inches tall. So I'm going to offset it. I'm going to center it on the page, which means I'm going to be a 1/2 inch from the top and the bottom. So I'm going to come over here and line that up, that 1/2 inch there. The next one is going to be this green leafy tonal paper, which I think actually might be my favorite paper in here. The leaves do, to me, seem to have a little bit of a direction to them. So I went ahead and I just flipped it around so that the leaves are kind of going upwards. And that might just be me being a little bit picky. Then I've got this really pretty pink. And that just, so it's about a 1/2 inch in from the color before it. So I'm just going to keep stacking it down here. I really, really like these tonal colors for summertime. They work, they're kind of my idea of tonals where they're very, not a lot of contrast between them. You can see you've got some nice, they frame photos really well. So there we go. That is the basic layout. So you can see I kind of got, it's got a little bit going on too. We've got these various colors in here, but it actually works. I've got some high energy photos with lots of colors in them. And so it just worked out fine. One of the things I did do here compared to, so the sketch shows some photos with mats, and over here, these ovals have mats, and then it had some photos without. I went ahead and matted all of my photos. When I laid them out, it just kind of looked awkward here with these two photos, especially for, I've got some busy patterns going on. So I went ahead and I matted them as well. And I just used 3 different colors of mats. I did use cardstock. I used, oh my gosh, I want to say it's Tahitian blue. It was from a cardstock buffet last summer, maybe last fall, somewhere. And then Buttercup, which was a fun yellow. And Shamrock, the Shamrock. If you have some Shamrock cardstock from the most recent National Scrapbook Day, it works really well with the greens in the summertime collection. And here we go. So then I've got this other picture has got the Buttercup in there as well. So there's the overall placement. I'm pretty certain going to be something along these lines with the photos. There is going to be some overlap. And what I have is there is a border detail in here. And you can see that the border, they show, you know, you have about 8 inches on this side, and then you have about 4 inches on this side. So that's what I did. I was actually planning to just cut it in half, like make one border and cut it in half. But the way there's this offset and I used scallop burst to make it, it really kind of got a little bit awkward. So I ended up having to make 2 different borders. I made this one out of some scraps. So that was an easy thing to do. Just carry the same look from the right side over up here to the left. So that's what I did. And I've got, this will come in as such. They had some additional detail at the top of with the border. I am not going to put that kind of detail in. I have a lot going on already in this particular layout with the photos. Got a lot going on. I've got bright colors, all sorts of things in here. I'm not going to worry about the additional detail. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to pull this off my mat. And I am going to be putting a title down here at the bottom. And once again, I'm going back. I'm using my alphabet dies. I got some new alphabet dies, and this is going to be really interesting trying to get these to stick. I will be using probably the lovely adhesive glue pen. And that's my go-to with these very thin detailed pieces, but you can see it's very, very thin, kind of a fun, I don't know if anybody collects the Ray Dunn stuff. It's kind of that type of a font. Maybe that makes me, at least it makes me think of that. So it says water, and then I just use, and I did that in black, water's in black, and then I just have another set of letters done in this same Tahitian blue from there. So there you can see we've got the right side, or excuse me, this is the left side page. And I will be able to do a little bit of journaling in here, putting the date and the year of preschool that she was. These are, I'm literally, I think from like 2010. So we're looking, you know, it's 11 years ago. And here is the right side page. So you can see I've got, you know, this nice border going on this side, and I used a border sticker. I used some additional stickers, and I need to go through the sticker pack and the embellishments and things like that and figure out if there's any additional things I want to add. I probably won't put too much more on here. The photos still stand out. There is that nice background thing going on. So, like I said, if the photos don't work out for you with the way they show them in the sketch, just build your background, add your photos, and that honestly is a great, it's what sketches are about. It's get you started, get you going, adapt it for your photos. You do see that in the sketch, they had a detail over on this side. I did not add that detail over here, but I had more photos. So I did add another photo, and I carried the oval over here to the right page. That was the one thing from my standpoint, this felt a little unbalanced. And I think especially if I'd added the oval here, I feel like I really needed to carry that oval to the right page. So I went ahead and I did that with my photos. I cropped things just a little bit differently to make sure that you could still see that stair-stacked look across there. So that is sketch number 2. It was a lot of fun to put together. I was super excited to be able to use a summertime collection for summer photos. And so I hope you have a chance to put something together. Please share it in the All Access group. I would love to see it. Thanks.